Hi, everybody. I hope you're all blessed and well in the Lord. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone who's been praying for me. And thank you to all my new subscribers for checking out my channel. Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to talk about a few things pertaining to the New World Order and how they are going to bring this about. And what led me to this is earlier in the week, it was around Tuesday or something. The Lord put a word on my heart, and I heard racism really strong in my spirit. I heard it twice. Racism. And that's not a word I usually use. I would usually probably say racist or something like that. So I know it's from the Lord. And so I started thinking about it after I looked up the definition of racism. There are other terms that coincide with that. And the reason I found that interesting is because I know that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are were stressing their feelings towards this in this video that I had posted. If you have not watched it, I will link it below. But in this video, they're clearly targeting the middle class, and they're targeting college students, younger people in these speeches. And I'm going to show you another video of Hillary Clinton right now.
This is an election year, 2018 in the United States, so there's a lot that can be done to say, wait a minute, we're not going backwards when it comes to race and religion and sex and gay rights and all the rest of it. We're going to keep forward moving because we want an inclusive, tolerant society, and that includes everybody, not just some of us, but all of us.
And if you remember in the video where I talked about how Adolf Hitler was able to gain supporters, he targeted the middle class and students, as they are doing. And also, the racial thing was a big issue back then. And that is what made them popular, is they would push this stuff any way they can, the same way they do now through the media, and just attacking people's minds and trying to condition them to hate anyone who goes against their agenda. So these next few videos I'm going to show you are examples of how the society will look at you like there's something wrong with you if you don't go along with their new agendas and their new ways of living, as the microchip is already being pushed.
Right now it allows you to use your cell phone to tap to pay. The chip implant is going to allow us to finalize payments in our break room market here by holding your hand up to the NFC terminal and finalizing your payment through there. So we're going to put it in between the thumb and the forefinger here, and it's going to be about the size of a grain of rice, and we'll have it right in here. I think a lot of it is just a comfort level of seeing another person have it for an extended period of time, and that's kind of how everything goes. Certain people and generations didn't want to switch to the iPhone because they didn't feel comfortable with it, so they kept their flip phone forever. And then they made the jump to the iPhone, and they love the iPhone now. So, it's a comfort level.
Now, some of you may have seen this already, but Jordan Peele simulated pretty much a fake of Obama, and they're trying to push this fake news thing, and which they're going to be targeting certain people once they finish their agenda. But the conditioning is already happening to the fact that a lot of news can be fake, which can lead to the censorship on the internet that I've been telling you guys about. So here's a video that they made.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, even if they would never say those things. So, for instance, they could have me say things like, Killmonger was right, or Ben Carson is in the sunken place, or, how about this, simply, President Trump is a total, someone else would. Someone like Jordan Peele. This is a dangerous time. Moving forward, we need to be more vigilant with what we trust from the internet. That's a time when we need to rely on trusted news sources. It may sound basic, but how we move forward in the age of information is going to be the difference between whether we survive.
Okay, so back to the racism thing. Right after I heard the word racism, I saw this here on RT News, where I'm gonna show you the video. And if you haven't heard already, there was an incident at Starbucks this week, where two men were arrested for, they were just waiting for their friend at a Starbucks, and they were racially profiled and arrested for no reason. And they were pushing this story really hard, and this definitely isn't right. I don't agree with this, but what's wrong with it is they're going to be trying to categorize any type of discrimination towards anyone as a crime and as a hateful thing. And I definitely don't agree with racism, because I do believe racism is real. But racism, you can't choose what color you are born or what, nationality you are born, but you can choose, certain things as far as your sexuality and the choices you make in that. But they're going to make it seem like, oh, it's all discriminating. For example, they were also sharing this news story about an LGBT couple, two women who are fighting for rights for having children together. And so they're grouping all this together. They're making it seem like it's all one big crime. And in the end, they're going to be targeting Christians, as I said. Okay, so in this clip I had showed you before, Hillary Clinton had mentioned something about an inclusive society. So I looked up what an inclusive society is, and lo and behold, there's a whole entire PDF document file talking about an inclusive society. And this is created by the United Nations. And they have a whole layout here talking about social integration, social inclusion, basically everything she was talking about, freedom, equality, solidarity, tolerance, respect for nature. Like I was telling you before, they're going to be pushing this, like the coexist movement. This web here is also an example of how they are becoming more like a dictator, which is someone who has obtained power through pretty much by force. They can do this through diplomacy or military force. And, they want everybody inclusive, all together in one. taking extreme measures to do so.
America, the birthplace of AIDS. Admiral General, welcome to New York City. And while you're here, I highly recommend a visit to the Empire State Building before you or one of your cousins takes it down.
So the same year this movie came out, the movie Battleship came out. And on the back of the battleship, there was the name John Paul. And the battleship had gold propellers. And I found that interesting because John Paul was the 6th reigning pope in the papacy. And he was also the longest reigning pope in the papacy. And I also found a connection to the warship that was used in the movie. This was a warship that was published on March 22nd on the U.S. Navy channel, and it shows gold propellers, and it has a name on the back just like the ship did in the movie. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The names are different, but both of the ships had these gold propellers here. Also, these mountains in this movie, they're covered with grass, and they were being hit by missiles just like my mom had explained in her vision, and I found that really interesting. And it was a quick clip, and then they have this devilish looking thing walk up in that scene. Now this movie is about the Navy fighting aliens or invaders, and also if you look at the word alien, it can mean belonging to a foreign country or nation. And I found that pretty interesting also because we are.
Those ships could do this. What do you think 50 can do, or 500,000?
We're looking at a global extinction event.
What are your orders? We're not going down without a fight.
I hope you can now see through this video that the government is after your freedom of speech. They want to come after your thoughts. They want you to accept everything that they tell you. Please do not believe these people. They are paid and trained to manipulate you and to get you to fall for their new world order. This is Satan's plan to bring back the Antichrist, to fully set the new world order in place. Please set yourselves free from the matrix. Please do not be fooled. I love you all. God bless.